I was in one of our local supermarkets today with my wife, and I went to buy some eggs. And at this particular supermarket, they happen to sell free-range eggs. I don't know if you know what they are, but free-range eggs means that the chickens, the hens, live a much nicer life. So they are able to roam around outside, in a field and do what chickens normally do, which is wander around and scratch the ground with their feet, looking for food and I don't know, just whatever chickens normally enjoy doing during the day. Now the sort of, I think the more popular, certainly in Japan anyway, the more popular kind of eggs that you can buy over here are they called battery hens or something like that? Or it's an unusual name. But basically, it's just a load of chickens, like hundreds, maybe even thousands of chickens, just crammed into really tiny cages. And they have a horrible life, really. It's like living in a small prison and just being fed some low-quality, cheap food. So for this reason, the free-range eggs are more expensive. You need more space for the for the chickens to roam around. You can't fit as many chickens in the same amount of space as you can if they're not free-range eggs. And the food that you give to the chickens is supposed to be better quality than the cheapest food you can give to them. So anyway, I always, if I can, I always buy free-range eggs. Now, it's incredibly hard to do that over here in Japan because I almost never see free-range eggs, and I've only ever found one supermarket that actually sells them, which is really annoying for me because, I mean, yes, they're more expensive. They're probably about double or close to double the price of the sort of normal eggs, but I think it's a very small price to pay anyway. I mean, these you can get, I think it's 12 or 10 or 12, I can't remember, eggs, and it's only about £2.50, which is pretty cheap anyway. So I really don't mind paying an extra bit of money just to ensure, or hopefully, these chickens have a bit of a nicer life. I mean, if you've never seen one of these sort of battery farms, I can't remember the name for them, sorry, but they're sort of like where chickens, where you normally get the eggs from in the regular sort of non-free range farms. You should take a look at it on the internet and have a look at a picture. And I don't know, maybe if you see that, you'll feel a bit sorry for the chickens, and maybe you'll try and buy the free range eggs as well if you don't already. But anyway. So I went straight for these free-range eggs, and my wife said, "What are you doing buying those? They're too expensive." And I said, "Look, I want these. I don't want the normal eggs that you normally like to buy, because they're not very nice for the chickens. A horrible life, and it's only a bit more money." And I said, "Look, I'm just going to buy them. If you don't want to pay, I'll just pay. I don't care how much they cost. I'm buying them." I want to be kind to these chickens who, give their eggs away for free. But then again, it's not just about trying to be nicer to the chickens. It's also about the taste as well. I don't know if you've ever, if you've seen like a good egg, I suppose, the color of the yolk, the yellow part, is like this rich, vibrant, orangey, it almost glows. It's such a rich, dark, rich orange colour. It's really nice. And I think I mentioned before that we used to keep chickens, and my parents used to keep chickens, just a couple, in their back garden. And I think that was the first time that we'd seen these incredibly yellow egg yolks. I mean, we'd always been buying free-range eggs in my household, my family's household. My parents always buy free-range eggs. But this was another kind of yellow. This was, well, orangey colour. I guess it was the natural colour. It's like the way that eggs would normally look if the chickens were looked after well, if the chickens were happy enough, and if the chickens were given good quality food. It's just like the natural colour of eggs. So you can tell if you've got a good egg or not just by cutting it open, and you can see the colour of it. And the worst eggs, like when I go into like a restaurant over here in Japan, and you sometimes you have some breakfast and there's like a boiled egg. You open it and the egg yolk is this strange, like pale yellow color, like a pastel yellow color, and that's just like, when I see it, it's very off-putting to me. Off-putting, like I'm put off the idea of eating it. It's like, I mean, it doesn't taste too bad, but I don't think that's a good quality egg at all, and I don't think it was laid by a happy chicken. At best it sort of tastes okay. So there's two reasons. One is being kind to chickens, and the other is I think they just taste better. These better eggs. I do have to apologise if you can hear lots of noises going on outside. We're having work done, as I mentioned before, and it's just been very hard finding a time to record when there is no sound happening. So I don't know how much you can hear that. For me, sitting here in this room, it's like ridiculously loud. But I'm hoping it doesn't come through too much on the microphone. Anyway, carrying on. I'm keen to know if you are able to get free-range eggs in your country, because they really are not popular in Japan at all, like I was saying. And I was quite surprised by that. I can go to, like I said, I've only found one supermarket that sells them, and they only have like one box. There's like all these different types of eggs you can buy, or types, like brands, I suppose, from different farms, and just one is these free-range eggs, and they only have a small selection of them, so I gather they're not the most popular ones. It seems to be something that no one really cares about over here in Japan, as far as I can tell. I get the impression that in England there's a bit more. It's like people care a bit more about those kind of things. They want the chickens to have been happy. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they just want the eggs to be tastier. Who knows? But I think I think at least if you go to a supermarket, you'll see like half of the eggs are free range and half of them are not free range. So there's a lot more interest in it, obviously. But like I said, over here it is very hard to find them. And the only other place I've been able to find them is something that's called a marché over here, which I'm guessing is a word that comes from a French word originally for something like market or marketplace. I'm not sure. And it's just like I don't even know what you'd call it in English, but sort of like a farmer's market, I suppose. So there's lots of produce there. There's lots of food there directly from farms, and you can buy some nice free-range eggs from there. And yes, the colour of the yolk, the yellow part, is a wonderful, rich, golden orange colour, and the eggs are very tasty indeed. So when possible, that's my first preference. That's my favourite place to buy eggs from over here. And then next place is the supermarket that does sell them. And then the time I just hate it. But sometimes I just have no choice because it's a pain, It is a pain, like just being like, oh, I need some eggs. I'll have to drive all the way over there when you happen to be already in a supermarket. So yeah, my least favourite place to buy them from is just any other supermarket. Anyway, I'm slowly trying to convert my wife over, convert her to like my way of thinking, and explaining how In fact, I should show her some pictures of what it looks like inside one of these like non-free range farms where we've just got all these chickens like really bunched in closely next to each other, and not much light in there as well. Not very nice. But she can see the difference with the colour of the eggs, and she can taste the difference with the eggs as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now, and hope to talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.